Hi everyone, my name is Kuldeep Jauhari. I am a lawyer practicing law in Delhi. And given today's situation and whatever happened today, I thought of making a video around a very important and a very crucial topic, which is that what is our right to protest and how can we stay within the ambit of law and express our disapproval. So, to begin with, what is a protest doesn't require much explanation, as most of us know it, that it is basically a form of disapproval or disagreement with the action of a government, and it is very much allowed. And it is, in fact, the right to protest is, in fact, a guaranteed fundamental right under the Constitution of India. It is guaranteed under Article 19 of the Constitution, as per which every citizen has the freedom of speech and expression, and every citizen has the right to gather peacefully and without arms. So these are the basic two, these are the articles, these are the basic two clauses of the Article 19, which give power to a citizen to protest and to express his disapproval or his dissent against a government action. But since these fundamental rights are not entirely absolute and they are subject to some reasonable restrictions, which is that if the security of the state or the country is in danger, and if there is a clear visible danger that the protest might turn into something that will cause serious injury to the security of the nation, then this fundamental right is not applicable, or it is not exercisable by a citizen. Now, how to go about a protest legally, and how to ensure that one is within the ambits of law and still exercising his right. So, very important thing for that is that in case of a protest, it is very important to seek permission and to declare where your protest is going to happen and what are the details of it. So for anybody, since I mean it is a very common thing these days, and there is a very reasonable urge that everybody has, since it is happening very close to all of us, and everybody at some point of time wants to participate in the protest and be a part of it. So for that, it is very important to ensure that it is absolutely right to and absolutely justified to express your disapproval, but there has to be a certain sense of responsibility that one has to take when protesting against whatever decision or whatever action it is. So it is very important that the protest has to be declared and has to be announced before it happens. For that, it is very important to take an NOC or a no objection certificate from the police. So what happens is that you lay down the reason for which you are protesting, the expected number of people that are expected to join your protest. If it is a staged protest, then what is the location of the protest? If it is a moving protest, or if it is going to be a rally sort of a thing, then the route that the you are planning to take, and the timing that you wish to protest, the duration of the protest, and certain other things, the important people who are basically, if it is an organization, then the heads of the organization. If there are if it is a group of people who are conducting that protest, then those people, the details of those people and their contact information, all of this has to be laid down and submitted with the police. And if the police allows the protest, well and good. If the police apprehends, or if the police thinks that there is a reasonable danger, or there is a chance that the proposed protest might turn into a violent protest, then there are chances that the police might deny it. So it is very important to declare the protest and to declare and to get yourself registered that this is the protest that you wish to do. Apart from that, the state or the government also has powers to impose prohibitory actions, or they have the power to impose prohibitory rules which are defined under the Criminal Procedure Code, as per which, if the government thinks that in a particular area or in a particular jurisdiction there are chances that things might flare up and things might turn bad, then the Then the government has conferred power on the magistrates. It could be a district magistrate, it could be a subdivisional magistrate, or it could be a executive magistrate. Either of the magistrates have the power to impose section 144, which is very commonly heard of. So section 144 is not actually a punitive section, but it is more of a prohibitory action from the government, as per which if the government thinks that there is a anticipated or an apprehended danger in a particular area, then the government imposes certain restrictions that they in that area, which is basically section 144, which is to ensure that the public tranquility is maintained and the public peace is maintained, and there is nothing that goes out of order, because of which 144 is section 144 is imposed. And in case a person violates section 144, or in case in the particular area where section 144 is imposed, people in groups of more than 5, which is the limit under section 144, if more than 5 people gather, then those particular people can be prosecuted under section 188 of the Indian Penal Code. So violation or breach of section 144 will attract criminal liability and will attract prosecution under section 188 of the IPC, which basically is disobedience of any order which is promulgated by the government. Again, all of this is to be kept in mind when one is protesting, and to ensure that all the legal measures are taken, because anything that you do in a protest, even if you're a part of it, if even if you haven't done anything which is actually against law, and you were there to just express your mere disapproval or disagreement, but you were somehow a part of a crowd or a part of a group which did certain activities which are illegal, then you will be also rounded up among those people. And which is why it is very important, because there are certain special statutes also which are applicable in these types of cases, which is one of which is the prohibition against the disruption of government property, and which is a special statute. And there are certain other special statutes as well, under which if you're causing harm and if you're damaging or the government property, then it attracts quite severe and quite strict punishments. So with the proximity that we have right now with the protests, and with all the disagreement and all the disapproval happening around us, it is very, very likely that we might step into it on any given day. But it is very important to be mindful of the fact that the protest, when it says that the protest has to be peaceful, it has some reason and it carries some sense with it. So it actually has to be peaceful, and if there is any sense of any sort of activity which is against the government, or which has the potential of turning violent, then all the people who are involved there, or all the people who are at least caught on the site, can be prosecuted severely. So it is very important to be mindful of this. And if there are any queries, or if there are any comments that you have regarding this video, please drop them in the box below, and I will further make a connecting video to this where I will discuss more on this topic.